16 years ago, I was the only forecaster to predict the current economic crisis. I even got the dates right. I predicted that it would start in the year 2000 and continue until 2010 and even 2020. Sadly, that prediction is coming true. America is in the deepest recession it has ever had, and it may last twice as long as the Great Depression. Back then, most analysts were predicting the greatest boom we ever had. We had one, but it lasted all too briefly. It ended abruptly in 2000 when the tech bubble burst and the stock market came crashing down. Why was I so right about the coming crash and the other experts so wrong? Well, I was watching fundamental demographic changes, and they were watching the usual financial indicators. The closer I looked, the clearer I could see that the demographics of abortion were like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off in the heart of America. Abortion had already taken a huge toll of 35 million lives, equal to that of a major nuclear war. That's when I warned that the economic impact of abortion could bring our nation to its knees. Since then, we have had 20 million more abortions, bringing the total to a horrifying 55 million. That's equivalent to the population of our 73 largest cities. If that isn't like the impact of a major nuclear war, what is? Let's face it, abortion is the most efficient form of killing there is. Indeed, prisoners on death row have a longer life expectancy than babies in the womb today. Abortion has killed 30% of the entire generation under 45. No war in history has taken that many lives, yet few people are willing to talk about it. This wall of silence exists because public officials don't want to touch the subject with a 10-foot pole. They don't want to get caught in the middle between vocal groups on both sides of the issue. Polarization about abortion is intense. Politicians are more worried about what a lone terrorist can do than they are about the damage done by abortion. We've spent trillions fighting terrorism and defending against nuclear war, yet abortion has killed 5,000 times more people than either one of these. Yet few politicians will talk about it honestly. Meanwhile, political correctness controls our national dialogue in the media, in politics, in academia, and in our major corporations. In reality, it's an Orwellian form of emotional intimidation that prevents honest, open discussion of an issue with enormous impact on women, families, and the economy. Yet we're a country founded on freedom of speech. Yet people can't talk about the A word in the public square without inviting a riot. It's that way on many college campuses, where conservative speakers have to hire bodyguards when they come to speak. Clearly, a wall of denial surrounds abortion. One way or another, we have to break down that wall. That's the reason I started Movement for a Better America, and that's why we ran full-page ads in the Washington Times 16 years ago, introducing the economic impact of abortion for the first time. The ads brought an immediate response. We heard from people in all 50 states, and from as far away as Moscow, Rome, Australia, and Madagascar. We even got $100 donations from people in the Clinton administration who agreed with us. That was a surprise. An even bigger surprise was when both President Clinton and Kate Michelman of NARAL answered the ads and speeches to major abortion groups within a week after the ads appeared. You know you're heading home when your enemies answer you in major speeches. Pro-life speakers like Ollie North and Michael Schwartz also took up the issue. Since then, I've given dozens of radio and television interviews all over the country. Clearly, the economic impact of abortion resonates with people, even more now that we are in the middle of the major economic crisis I predicted. Since that prediction, we've come a long way in addressing the problem. Our commitment back then was simply to find ways to end abortion. Since then, we've continued to develop new ways to change hearts and minds about abortion. Sadly, progress in that battle is going much too slowly. Right now, abortion is declining by less than 1.2% a year. At that rate, it will take 60 years to cut the number of abortions in half, and 200 years to eliminate it. That's not acceptable. Current pro-life strategies just aren't working fast enough. What's needed are smarter strategies that disarm the enemy and reach out to educate the young. That's why we recommend preventive education for young people and emphasizing the very real consequences of abortion for all of us. Let's face it, people don't change until they feel the consequences of their own behavior. They're starting to feel that right now. That's why the economic impact of abortion is so powerful. It hits home with everybody: men, women, pastors, small business people, even the economists, and eventually the politicians. It also demonstrates the impact of abortion on our own and our children's future. We haven't simply killed 55 million babies. We've eliminated 55 million of our own future citizens, producers, taxpayers, and parents of the next generation. People have to recognize that the impact of abortion echoes down the centuries. No kids, no future. Legalized abortion on a massive scale is just as suicidal as nuclear war. Our new pro-life Tea Party program aims to bring this education effort to the grassroots level. Through Operation Main Street, pro-life Tea Party teams are reaching out to the whole community. Pro-life Tea Party teams seek to accomplish the following. First, they work within the existing Tea Party movement to make sure the economic impact of abortion isn't lost in all the talk about taxes and spending. If we hope to win this battle, we have to bring economic and social conservatives together in a common front against the frightening economic impact of abortion. Second, they help awaken churches to the impact abortion has had on church attendance and loss of faith. Too many pastors are afraid to talk about abortion for fear of losing people. In fact, they have already lost huge numbers because of abortion. Our churches must speak up or we'll quickly become a nation that has completely lost its faith. Pro-life Tea Party teams also reach out to the small business community and to families to demonstrate the economic impact of abortion. Small businesses need to know about the 43% decline in our birth rate since 1960. That's a huge dent in the entire generation under 50. How can we prosper with trends like that? We also want to educate families about their role in economic life. As the source of all supply and demand, families are the fundamental economic unit in society. That's where most of the real growth comes from. We've got to restore the family as the key to economic growth, or we face persistent decline. That's why we need to strengthen the family, not weaken it. Intact families are a huge economic asset. Broken families and children born out of wedlock are an economic drain. If America wants a prosperous future, we have to improve the outlook for families. That's in everybody's interest. Frankly, we're now moving into a new phase. Writers like Mark Stein and Pat Buchanan are helping to sound the alarm on a global level. But we have to raise a great hue and cry in every small community in America. Pro-life Tea Party teams can do that by working to change hearts and minds at the community level. We intend to back them up with innovative strategies, employing the latest techniques in social networking and peer-to-peer communications, built on the solid foundation of active teams working together to change hearts and minds on Main Street America. Meanwhile, we'll continue to help with fresh research and talking points featured in our Action newsletter and a new online pro-life television channel that is now under development. To do all this, we urgently need your help. You can help by registering as a pro-life Tea Party team member today and by joining hands with as few as 2 or 3 others in your own community. As a member, you'll enjoy the privilege of using our research, talking points, special reports, ads, flyers, and videos in your local effort. To register, just go to our webpage and click on the registration link today. Just go to www.prolifeteaparty.org. That's pro-life with a hyphen, teaparty.org. Together, we can bring abortion to an end within your lifetime and hopefully mine. 2012 is a year of decision for all of us. We hope your decision is the right one. You can help change hearts and minds about abortion by helping us spread this message to other Americans. And remember, a better America is up to you. Send your donation today to Movement for a Better America, P.O. Box 472, Mount Freedom, New Jersey, 07970. All gifts are tax deductible for federal income tax purposes.